6 minutes.
21 Savage. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Loshing on this podcast. Today we got a special guest in the building. Say the name.
5200.
Yes, sir.
5150.
The boy Jesse.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
Where's it at? The Angels are here.
Oh, there we go.
Talk about the Angels. There's some about your shorts, right? You got some Angels and what is it? Angels and Demons
Angels
or
and
Hell and Hell and
Heaven or Hell.
Heaven, Hell.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably one of the staple pieces I have that actually help take my career to the next level. That I'm very fortunate of having. When I started that was back in like COVID. It's cliche to say, I feel like everybody blossomed through COVID.
We all fucking hate COVID.
Yeah, I feel like we were robbed 2 years. So I still feel like we're, what is that, 2019? I still like we should be back in 2021, not 2023.
Yeah. COVID was a test.
It was.
That was a test.
Yeah, like
for everybody.
We're the real hustlers at, like in that era, like what was your niche at that time? I feel like that was it. And, working that 9-to-5 job and, getting fired within that moment of COVID, it was just full throttle. Like, let's go full speed with 5200 and let's do it. Like, no side hustle, no nothing. Let's just put in my all.
So 5200 is a clothing brand.
Yeah, it's a clothing brand. I'm trying to switch it up to a contemporary clothing brand. I know I have mesh shorts right now, but
now when you say contemporary clothing brands, because I know there's probably people out there that probably like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate to us?
No, yeah. So
dumbasses that don't know what that means.
Absolutely. So contemporary. Just catering to a different genre. Like whether it's like more tops, like in jackets, t-shirts, polos, knit. You're just challenging yourself, like touching different swatches, even like pants, leather, like doing all that type of stuff. I feel like you can't be too content. Like if I were too content just dropping mesh shorts every single time, that's not going to make it to a GQ, to a Vogue, and I'm going to be stagnant. And then my audience and my clientele and my fan base, they're just going to be like, this dude just makes mesh shorts like all day. Once you challenge yourself and cater it to a different world and to a different variety of people, then that's when you're like, okay, I took that bigger risk.
So you trying to make all types of clothing and like pretty much like you want to go everywhere. Like you said, leather, like you're trying to like
high
fashion week type of shit. Like
exactly, fashion week. That's one of the things I'm aiming for 2024. I'm launching my spring summer. Actually, it should be around April. I gotta head down to Portugal to talk to these factories. But for the most part, I have something. I got 10 to 12 pieces coming out. I have a lot of top bottoms going. That one is actually dedicated. It's called Faded Memories. That one's dedicated to my dad. And with my dad, I don't talk to him whatsoever. We're not in good terms. But with him, even though I don't speak to him, I still have something that I could look back upon, whether it was the artist he was influenced on or an athlete. Like he was in love with Michael Jordan. He was in love with the Eagles, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Bon Jovi, all that. And when I look back at those albums and I started creating to this contemporary brand, as I mentioned earlier, it gave me a bigger perspective and it gave me a challenge. Like, hey, what can I name this title of collection, as a hub? And when I got to it, I was like, let's call it Faded Memories. Even though we're distant, I still have those memories of you in my head, no matter what.
What's the meaning behind 5200 and like how did you come up with the name?
It's funny. Everybody always asks me. I was creating at a coffee shop. I was listening to Schoolboy Q, one of his albums, and he has a song called 5200.
Okay.
And I looked it up and I was like, yo, what the hell is this meaning? And it's his hood. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not trying to do this Grove Street, whatever, I'm not doing that. So I took a deeper dive. I dissected the numbers together, and 52 was like a guardian angel, throughout your journey of life. And I took that because I grew up in a religious household. I'm Catholic. So when I did that, I was like, yo, you know what? I said, everybody has a guardian angel, no matter what it is, we're going to be protected. We're going to be blessed no matter what. And the 00 is our vision. It's our eyes in life, how you want to perceive, how you want to break generational curses or just do better in general in life. That's how I see it.
That's dope. That's dope as fuck.
for your logo, did you nail it on the first logo, or you had a couple before you came up with like the final logo?
So I'm always in love with like that old English, that grungy ass look, you know. So I was like, damn, this is kind of cool, F2H. But I was like, I need something that's gonna be like, okay, I know that logo, like Mercedes-Benz, BMW. Everybody know what Fear God is, what the Fendi brand, the
Like
Louis
something that's gonna
that's
stick.
gonna pop. Yeah,
It's gonna stick and it's gonna pop.
I talked to my tattoo artist. He was tatting me up, and I'm like, hey, I need a logo, like just something pretty good. Like, can you make something? He showed me like different varieties, and I'm like, hey, yo, this one's tight. And I was like, it don't look like a dollar sign to you? And he's like, nah. He said it does, but he implemented it more. If you look closely to the logo, like right here, it looks like a money sign, but it actually spells out F2H. Yeah, so then when we did that, I was like, oh, I could place these anywhere. A hat, a pants, anywhere. If I were to make a shoe, you know, that's something.
It's universal.
Yeah, exactly, you know.
So where do you get like inspiration from? Like what's the setting and what's the move to where like you just feel like you're in a creative space, or where do you like to be where, you know, to basically use your creativity?
Yeah, I like being in low key areas. Like coffee shops is like my best place, you know. Especially like when I go by myself and then like I interact with other people, you know, and then we people watch, you know.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it. I people watch. I look at their style. I'm like, hey, what do you do for a living? Those short conversations and stuff, like when I have with these people, you don't know who you run into these coffee shops, you know. And it's after that it becomes networking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what? And then it bounces back. Like it becomes contagious. It's like, what do you do for a living? They might think I'm just a hood dude with tattoos. Like, they're like, oh, he's just drawing. He's a graffiti artist. But when I open my mouth and tell them what I do, they're shocked, you know, because you wouldn't expect that.
Yeah. That's dope.
That's funny. Coffee shop, that's kind of a smart way to just network. Because, I mean, think about everybody's on the grind. They need that caffeine. They need that. So they're pulling up like, I need my coffee. So you're like, this motherfucker's doing something.
No, you see everybody there, too. You see everybody there with their laptops out, their book bags, or everybody's just there. Everybody's engaged into their work. You could tell, like, everybody there is somebody. Majority of the people that's chilling at coffee shops, about business.
About business.
No, yeah. Sure. And that's how I encountered like a couple stylists, you know, like, and I said, hey, this is my brand. Maybe we could connect one day, share social media. Social media is a huge platform.
Easy.
And, you know, it's like, we don't be like, oh, what's your number? It's like social media. Hey, let me get that. Boom. What clients do you work with? What's the best fitting for them? And then it worked out. I got a couple guys and it helped out from there.
Walk us through like the process when you first created your first piece of merch. And like, who did you reach out to, or like obviously there's a start and then to where you're at now.
Yeah.
Like you obviously have all these sales. I've seen basketball players wearing your brand from like the Kings stuff. Like, how did that all happen?
Well, shoot, like in the beginning, like when I made those shorts, the Heaven or Hell ones, I was just in my living room. I started like long time ago when I was 18, in and out of a million brands, and then, you know, one of my good friends, he was just like, hey, bro, like, you need to come back. This is what you were made for. Like, just, you were good at just designing and just share it to the world. So I took that into consideration. I came back, and then I made these shorts. And then after that, like, once I started designing that whole process, I was just like, man, I don't know what to do. Like, should I do, like, stripes? Should I do this? And I was like, let me just add these graphics. Let me do something that was, like, I never seen on a jersey short, you know, that had a good storyline. And after that, like, when I built that up, I was like, all right, how do I get it to a factory? Do I go order online, get like blank champion shorts? Like, who do I screen print them? Like, you know, I had no fashion etiquette. I have no degree, no nothing. I went straight to YouTube, or I had mentors, you know? So I was just like, fuck, I'm clueless. I'm watching YouTube. This was like, I didn't even watch TikTok. So I'm like, I'm on YouTube, like, all right, man, Alibaba, do I trust this site? What's the time?
Yeah, that's the Alibaba.
Hey,
Alibaba.
Hey, Alibaba.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people be on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I go in there, and I'm like, all right, let me tell this lady, like, hey, I want to make these shorts. First question she asked me, cool, what's the measurements? And I'm like, holy shit.
Damn.
I'm like,
You get confused. You're like, wait, well, how do I?
I'm like, I'm getting a tape measure. I'm like, all right, let me go get my toolbox. Let me get my tape measure. Let me measure like my favorite shorts. But what's crazy, that how I measured the shorts, it wasn't off a basketball short. It was off a swim trunk. And that was when the 90s like high short shorts, the dad shorts,
over
all
the
that.
Knees,
Yeah, it was just like in, and I was like, this is gonna be it. And I swear to God, the first one, they were way too high, bro. I was like, hey, yo, no, this is too hoochie daddy.
Like, give me 2 more inches.
And I'm like, all right, let me run another sample. So, you know, making sample after sample, I found like I mastered it. And I was like, all right, let me go to Target. Let me get like a small, a medium, a large, a double XL. I started measuring them. So I'm like, all right, kept the tag on, and then I fucking sent it over to the factory. Like, these are the measurements. Send me these samples. And then I got them in, and I was like, these are gonna work.
This is it.
These are gonna work. And then I was working with some dude. He was selling vintage, and he was like, hey, bro, before you drop these, let's send them to some guys. I got some guys that I style. And I was like, cool. First major guy, Nick Young. I was like, oh, shit. Like, before I dropped, I was like, oh, shit, this dude's wearing them to an open gym, whatever. And then, like, he wore it. And then
Swaggy P?
Swaggy P, bro.
Yep, Nick Young.
And, like, and then after that, like, it got posted onto, it's called the NBA. It's like the NBA's fashion, like, tunnel fits, league fits. So I DM'd those guys, like, when I got the image, I was like, hey, any way you could tag me up. And then I was like, I will give you guys merch, too, if, you know, showing love.
Yeah.
So, you know, I gave them free merch, whatever. And then one of the guys that worked for them from Slam, they're collaborated with Slam. And then he was like, hey, I love your stuff. Let's connect. So after that, he connected me to more guys. So it was just a domino effect. Yeah. So I was like, oh, fuck. And then
that shit probably, like, for you, like, it was probably, like, happening so fast, too.
Yeah.
It was, like, overwhelming.
So I'm like, I didn't know how to, like, cope it in. I'm like, this is fucking fake. You know? I'm like, ain't no fucking way, you know? So
you're like, these people are fucking with me.
Exactly. And then, like, the bubble happened. Strange ass time for the NBA. Bro. And then I was like, all right. The same dude that got me to Nick Young, he was like, hey, I'm gonna send some shorts again. Send me a piece. Sent it over. Dude from the Clippers, Terrence Mann, wears it. And I'm like, holy shit. And then after that, it became a domino effect again. My DMs were flooded. They tagged me. And then I got hit up by Jason Tatum stylists. Like, multiple people started hitting me up, bro. It was just so crazy. And then, like, after that, every other player was just hitting me up. Like, it was just game over from there.
And those were and those were still the designs that you were getting from Alibaba?
Yeah, still Alibaba, you know, like
how many different
how many designs?
Over the course of like how long you've been doing this, how many different vendors did you have to go through till you found kind of like the one that you want to stick with?
So this lady masters only mesh shorts. So I have her in my back pocket.
Okay.
So I'll never leave her side. She gives me a good price, all that stuff. So luckily it was one person. Oh, okay. It was like, thank God. But like when I started catering to like hoodies, all that stuff, I probably dealt with 10 factories. Damn. And I probably wasted over $100,000 in clothes.
Jesus Christ.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's probably a lot of shit that I wasted, but it was just like, I wouldn't be where I am today without fucking failing that much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What are like, as a designer and with the brand, like what are some conflicts and roadblocks that you run into?
For the most part, I feel like deadlines, you know?
Yeah.
It's something that I'm really anal about. Yeah. Because it's just like you have this project that you want to release and you're trying to stay ahead and stay relevant in this industry. Yep. This industry is a dog-eat-dog world, you know, and it's probably the most unloyal industry.
Yep.
You know, you deal with fashion, and I'm just gonna be blunt with it.
Oh God.
And you gotta have tough skin. You know, everybody's not gonna buy your shit. No one's gonna repost your shit. It's like
some people might wear your shit, not even tag you.
Exactly, you know, and I hate that shit. You know, and especially like when the influencer's like, man, motherfucker, like I sent you that shit, you don't show me.
Or they don't repost anything.
Yeah,
or at least a fucking thank you.
Hey,
at least a thank you.
Or have you ever sent somebody some shit and they just don't even wear it or take a picture with it?
Yeah, bro, a million of times.
Yeah,
you know, like and
probably most of the time, right? Because it'd be like just like sometimes people would just post it. Because it takes a lot for someone to just wear your stuff and post it out. Exactly. Shout you out. They'd be like...
Yeah, like... And it's crazy because, like, how I look at it is if I can get one-on-one interaction with the person versus going through a stylist, it's more better for me. Because what if the stylist says no, but the person they have likes it?
Yes.
Then it's blocking your blessing. So it's just like,
Yeah.
nah, bro, that's not gonna work out for me. I dealt with that millions of times. Trust me. Like, I'll send probably 15 like packs of merch, and I'll never see it again.
Yeah.
But it's the risk.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have them pay for anything. Some players will pay for it. I'm very thankful for it. Some people don't. But at the end of the day, it's the exposure and my growth. Like, I have to get it out there no matter what.
Yeah. How far ahead, because you were talking about deadlines, how far ahead do you plan to drop? So, like, if you got a spring collection or a summer collection or a winter collection, how far ahead are you planning that out?
I was planning my spring one last summer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, you know, I have to run these samples. I have to make sure, like, the fabric is too pristine.
Yeah.
You know, because if I'm going to set it to, for example, this is not the original, this is not the price, but I'm going to just throw a number. Like, if I'm selling a pair of pants and I'm selling it for, like, $300, they have to understand why it's that amount of money.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not Gucci. I'm not like all these high-end designers, but I feel like with these designs, you got to stay ahead. But then when you have to take them behind the scenes. You have to show them the why.
Yeah.
Because if they
Why they're paying for that, yeah.
Exactly. You know, and I feel like everybody now, they see the finishing. You know, they don't see the freaking failure. They don't see the technicality problems you deal with on an everyday basis. You don't see the people you fire.
Yeah.
You know, cut people off. You got to keep re-networking. It's a brutal world, but it's just like, if you're not meeting my expectations, you got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you gotta say that.
Boss man.
That part.
Yeah, you gotta say that one more time. Yeah,
You got to go.
You gotta go.
yeah, meeting the expectation, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta
That's
go.
reality when you're trying to run a business, man. You gotta stay
Yeah.
on point. You gotta stay on top of it. Everybody's gotta be, you know, aligned with you. If not,
Exactly.
it's a wrap.
You know, and you have these conversations. You're on Zoom meetings, Google Meets, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm excited to do this," but it's just like, if you're not scratching my back, get the hell out of my way, bro. Like, you're a roadblock now.
Yep.
Are you like partnered up with a couple people?
So right now I do have a team. My team is scattered everywhere. I have people in LA. I have people in Texas. I'm still trying to expand my team. I have interns now in my team that I want to take aboard. You know,
That's dope.
I feel like they need an opportunity, and I feel like indie brands should give more opportunity like that. My best advice is, if you're doing it solo dolo, I mean, team up. You know, put that pride away, bro. Like, I feel like you should team up, but team up the right way. I mean, it could be friends, but sometimes the random people that you meet, whether it's on LinkedIn or social media, take advantage of it, because that door is going to open a million of other doors.
Yep.
Now, when you say you got a team, like, what are these people bringing to the table that makes sense for you?
What are their roles?
Yeah.
So right now I probably got,
Because obviously this is your brand, this is your company, you're the main owner. You don't
Right.
got like partnerships, like actual like in your business.
Yeah.
Or these are just kind of like workers that work with you.
Yeah, they just work with
Okay,
me. So
okay.
like I pay them their rate, you know, on a monthly basis. I pay them per collection. So right now I have a brand strategist. She's an amazing human being. She makes sure we have like a very good structure from year to year date. I have probably like 3-4 graphic designers and technical designers. Technical designers pretty much sketch my tech patterns to send to factories where it has the proper fitting, the measurements, what fabric I'm using. So when I have that, it's like the blueprint to the factory. So the less I have to say, and they see the paper and they're like, okay, I get what he wants.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it right away. So
Yeah.
it's not like, you're not wasting your time at that point. It's just straight to the point.
Yeah.
You know, and then I have my boy in Texas. He's one of my like best PR dudes.
Technical difficulties at the back.
Oh man, it's all good.
It was Danny's vibrator.
It's all good. But I have my dude that he's in Texas. He helps PR. He gets me all the guys that I can have. I made relationships with stylists out in LA. One good friend of mine, his name's Mario. He styles Tiller. He styles a lot of OVO. So that kind of helps me out a lot too.
That's dope.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's been your most favorite moment with your brand?
Probably collabing with Slam Magazine. That was probably the best thing. There's actually two. Slam magazine was probably the best one because that was like a childhood magazine, you know, like you're looking at your favorite player in front of there and you're like, man, like you always wanted to be like that certain hooper. You always had that idol, you know? Yeah. So like when I got that opportunity to collab with him in 2021, I was shook. I was like, holy shit, like this is real. Like me as an 8-year-old going through grocery store reading those magazines, I'm actually got featured in here. Yeah. And I got featured in like 3 different kinds. This was like Kanye West when he launched Donda Sports. It was DeMar DeRozan and Donovan and Zach LaVine in a cover, and I forgot the other player, but I have 3 copies, and it was dope.
That's tight,
you know. And now that I get spotlights obviously through NBA players, but now I shed a light through these high school kids. I sponsored my first high school, and that was
the Edison collab, right?
Yeah, that was a big blessing.
I was gonna ask, how did that come about?
So I pitched it out to a lot of schools. Derek Graves. Phenomenal guy. He alley-ooped me to a lot of coaches, and I had contracts ready. I was like, hey, I want to do a full-blown media day. I want to sponsor your school. Like right when I sent the email, I already gave him 4 color options for the school. I already studied their school, and I gave it to him. Yeah. And Edison was the luck of the draw, and it's funny because all my family went there. And then when I moved to the northern side of Stockton, I didn't get the opportunity to go. So 18 years later, I'm back, and I'm part of that. I'm part of that culture now.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm about to be 30.
Oh, you're about to be.
Yeah,
30.
I'm about to be 30.
I was wondering because I played for Edison.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, probably you're a senior, and I was probably a freshman or junior or sophomore.
Yeah, I'm about to be 30 this month on the 21st. So yeah.
You got any kids, anything like that? No.
Yeah, I got a daughter. She's turning 6 on the 12th next Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you stay busy.
Oh yeah, my days is occupied, you know. So I try. It's a good and bad thing, you know. I try to find as much time as I can to design, you know. So when she's at school, it's like, all right, perfect.
Because I'm thinking you got to think like you really got to be in your zone, like to come up with a new drop, to come up with a new idea. You got to be like focused. Like you can't just be sitting there and be like, oh, like I thought of something. Like it's just like for your design or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be engaged
for sure. And like now that I've been like strategically thinking throughout the past year, since last year till now, like how is I going to operate and keep building collections? And that's when I created that hub that's called Faded Memories. And the first one is about my dad. And then the next one in my autumn winter of 23, that's for my father-in-law, you know, and that's based off when he was in the military. So, you know, like you could put it back into my shorts, you know, like heaven or hell, there was good and bad. My dad wasn't there, but my father-in-law taught me other ways. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it that way to keep telling that storyline in some type of way.
And that's cool.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool that you have a story behind it, and then like just the concept and then the title, like Faded Memories. That's something that could resonate with everybody.
You know, and I feel like everybody has that missing piece. You know, like whether it doesn't matter if it's a public figure or like whatever it is, like within yourself, there's something in there that you used to love, and it's not there no more. You know, so I that's why I created that Faded Memory thing, and I can't wait to share it to the world, and like picking out all these colors too, like the brand colors, like that was my biggest thing. My brand strategy was like, all right, when we build these catalogs to share to people, when we do these collaborations, we need brand colors. So when I started to do it, all these brand colors that I selected now is like each color is designated to a family member. But I named it after them. Like it's just crazy. It's It's not a brown. It's not a blue. It's gonna have a meaning behind it. Yeah. So it's tight. You know, it's deeper thinking.
Right now with your collections, obviously you started off with the shorts. Yeah. And then you went on to hoodies recently.
Yeah, like hoodies, sweatsuits. You know, I probably wasted $1 million, like fucking fabric rolls in LA. He probably still has it. But I don't work with them no more. But yeah, I wasted a lot. I wasted a lot of fabric. I was testing out a million of things, bro. I made a first prototype of a Letterman. I made a prototype of a denim jacket. So it's just challenging myself. I probably made like 4 pants that I probably haven't even showcased yet.
Are you planning to do you have hats?
I have hats.
You have hats.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, obviously, like you said, the shorts and then the sweatsuits. I feel like a lot of brands are doing that right now. So I was like, how do you stay relevant and stand out from the people? Because like I could see and see tons of hoodies, tons of sweatsuits, tons of colors, like the new, you know, those browns, darks, those neutral colors, and then you got the shorts. I mean, there's so many brands out there that they're competing with you. So it's like, how do you stand out? And then you start talking about like, well, I'm doing jackets and I'm doing the denim and the pants and the shoes. You're trying to do all these new things to kind of push yourself out.
Right.
But how do you, like, is that what's going to help you kind of break through and continue growing? Or like, how do you stand out, I would say?
Yeah, I feel like right now, it's one of a good friend of mine in LA. He has a good brand. It's called Cesbon. And he's been making creative staple pieces. So I took that into consideration of watching him, like how he operated. And I feel like looking at it now, you could make a traditional hoodie any given time. But if you could alter it to a certain direction, like for me, I mimicked a lot of stuff of like old NBA genres, of old like rock stars of my dad. Like even I looked at album covers, like how they were designed. I would put that into stitching. I would put that into pockets. I would put that into like my hats, logos, the trimming of the pants, or like hoodies. And like I would just be like, yeah, this is it right here. Like if you have those little fine details instead of making everything so traditional and like
so current.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You're looking at shit that people probably not looking at. Like you're looking at things in the 80s details and shit like that.
Yeah. Small details.
And people are like, you're like, people probably not even looking back at that time.
Or they're probably just going with the trends that are like out today.
Exactly, you know? And it's not I feel like if you look at family history, I feel like you could find so much stuff, bro. And there's so many untold things you could present into clothing. And the one who really does it best is Virgil Abloh and Ruigi, the dude that handles Rude. That dude, those guys,
Rude?
they make timeless pieces, you know. And how they do it like Off-White and Louis Vuitton, they're so obscure. Like people would be like, why the fuck would I wear that? But that's how he wanted it, you know. Ruigi did Marlboro. He just took the Marlboro logo. If you don't pay attention to that, he mastered it and he placed it on everything. And now he's the biggest guy right now in fashion, in my opinion. He just collabed with Lamborghini. He collabed with McLaren last year. Now he's the head creative designer at Bali, and he's dominating.
So you found so the brand started pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Did you already? So you were still like you said, you had no fashion etiquette, but did you have like the same like interest and passion for fashion that you do now? Like
did you just like to dress up yourself? Like you like to fit yourself? That was the reason why you kind of like went that route? Is it something that you always like before you even thought about creating your own thing? Like, did you just like to dress up nice and put pieces together?
But also like studying other designers because like, did you like develop that like interest? Like, I'm studying this person. I'm studying this person.
Yeah,
I like this person. Or were you already doing that kind of?
It's crazy. I mean, I don't want to sound repetitive, but it's like looking back, like at my dad, like watching who he was idolizing. Like it's a big topic because it's just like, you know, he was watching Michael Jordan, the swagger, the attitude, how he was on and off the court. Yeah, and like I was studying that. Like I always look back at film, and then I would listen to his artists, and I'm like, what the hell? Why does he love these? Like, why does he love these artists? Yeah. You know, and then I took a deeper dive. I started doing research. I started watching documentaries, and I'm like, yo, their fashion is fucking wild. And I'm like, yo. And then like when I started to see him dress, he's one of those dudes, and it's crazy because in a Filipino culture, it's just like they want to have. There's always that one person that wants to be that pop star, and you know, like they want to be that flashy dude, like that pop star. But my dad did it so smooth in a minimalistic way that I caught on to it, and I was like, yo, I like what the fuck he's doing. Like
he was subtle.
Yeah, it was subtle. Like he was still dressing fly, like boot cut.
Subtle swag.
This dude till this day, bro, rocks a mullet. Like, and mullets are coming back, which is really crazy.
The Edgar's.
He rocks a mullet, dog.
They are.
And like, I haven't talked to him in so long, but people will keep me updated. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Will I have that conversation with him? Cool. Would I bring him on to see a collection? Of course I would. And I'd be like, yo, this was catered to you. And just because I dropped this collection that's about him, like, I would still continue to tell his story through my clothes. And like, do I study other artists? Back to your question? Of course I do. Yeah. I've got to stay up to date with the trend. I got to see what's hot. I got to see what's next. And like, you know, I used to look up to Jerry Lorenzo, but now I think he got too content with loungewear. He stepped away from his fear of God thing. But loungewear was a hit during COVID. you know. But now I see Essentials is 40% off now. That thing used to be sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, but it goes to show you could only make that thing for so long, and that's why I stepped away from shorts. I could only make it for so long, but now I got to challenge myself to another direction.
Yeah.
Because there's so many out there now. When you look at it, everybody caught on. Well, I'm just gonna make shorts. I'm gonna make hoodies. I'm gonna make sweatsuits. And I'm like, bro, everybody's doing this now. It's like it's just who you like and who you're gonna buy from.
And every time there's a trend too, you know, like all the lower brands and the cheaper brands, like they're gonna copy, they're gonna mimic that shit too. So yeah, like you said, it's only gonna last for so long for those brands. Like
I look at it this way, bro. I feel like originality is longevity. No matter what, you know. And I feel like imitation, you could do it for so long, but people are gonna catch on. You know, and that's how I look at it. Like I seen some stuff, people send me stuff, and they'll be like, "Hey, this looks close to yours," and I'd be like, "That's cool, that's them." You know, like I'm not gonna be the only one. I wasn't the first one that made basketball shorts. Shit, it was probably Champion. You know, they just didn't add designs on it.
Yeah.
You know, so Eric Emanuel was the one I looked up to.
Yeah.
So your drops, they're like is it a one-time drop? Do you restock, or is this what makes it unique? Right?
Yeah. So I do limited drops, you know, and I feel like I want people to have FOMO, you know, and I want people to. I don't want it to be accessible. Yeah, you know? Yeah,
like fuck, I can't get the shorts.
If I don't get this, I'll never get it.
That's what I'm saying. I clicked on his page. I was like, his shit's cool. Let me see. And then I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck. I missed out.
I get DMs all the time like, hey, what's the password? I'm like, man, you might as well ask for my social security at this point. You know? So I'm just like, yeah, I try to keep it exclusive. You know, I want to keep it very limited. But then, you know, I watch the trend of like the demand, and I read the comments like, hey, restock. But I'll wait for a perfect moment where I build up a huge catalog and I make it favorable to everybody. Like, hey, like, here's your chance. You got, like, pretty much one day to get it.
Like a one-time drop again.
Oh, it's a one-day thing? You do it 24 hours or what?
I'll restock everything. I did it a couple times, and I'll tell them, hey, this is a pre-order. It's guaranteed yours. And I'm always transparent. I meet the expectations. Like, it's 3 to 4 weeks to get in production, and I'll ship it right after, you know? And I feel like that's where people lack. Like, I've seen other brands. I read bigger brands too, where they'll be like, "Hey, like it's a pre-order," and they never get their shit.
I ain't gonna lie, I hate it. I did that one time with Warren Lotus.
I know. I know.
Like, I mean, it was like I think it was last year, or the year before that. I bought some stuff and I didn't realize it was like pre-order, and then it said like I don't know 6 to 8 weeks, like 3 months. It was like 4 months later. I got my shit. I'm like, damn. It's $100 T-shirt. And I think I got 2. Yeah, like fuck. Like, you know, 3-4 months later, I was like, shit.
It sucks, but you know that guy's killing it. You got to store Melrose now.
For sure,
so
for sure.
It's pretty dope.
Do you have? I don't know if there's like. I don't know like how the industry is, but is there like, do you have relationships with other brands, or is it just like everybody to themselves type thing?
I think. You know, you're gonna always
whether it's local or outside, like
I feel like there's always gonna be gatekeepers. You know, no matter what. To a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know, but I do have, you know, just probably like my close friend. That's about it. But I don't have nothing like, oh, I'm cool with Nike or I'm cool with New Balance or Puma or whatever.
Yeah.
I wish I did. Well, shoot, I'd have dropped 1 million shoes already. But no, nothing too crazy. Like for me, like. I'm not normally like in front of the camera or whatever, but now it's like I have to show my face. I had this conversation off camera, you know, so I feel like now it's just like no one knew who the hell 5200 was. Like they couldn't put a face on it. Yeah. And then I finally publicly put a picture of me this year. For like 3 years. 3 years later, they showed my face.
I'm dead.
Have you ever had like stores that obviously they're not like bigger stores, maybe more like stores that are like self-owned that sell clothing that have reached out to you to sell your clothing there at their stores?
Absolutely.
Like resellers and shit like
resellers.
That? Yeah, I had a couple vintage stores. I was very selective on it. At that time, I was so selective. And then back to my boy Mario, he opened up a store called Appointment LA. It's next to that dude Desto.
Desto Debs.
Awful lot of cough syrup. Yeah. The store's right next to there. So I took that chance because of the foot traffic it gets. Mm-hmm. And I sell my shorts there, you know. So I did that last year, and it worked out. He'll always ask me if he needs shorts or other stuff, and I'll be like, yeah, shoot it. I'll take a drive out there sometimes and just drop it off.
And how's that been going since
it's been going good.
That's dope.
You know, he'll lace up a couple people. Now I'm getting more footwork in the Latin artist community. Yeah. So he deals with a lot of Latin artists. So it's pretty dope.
Nice.
It's gonna have Bad Bunny wearing your shorts.
Yeah, should I hope.
It's a wrap after that. Bad Bunny wears your shorts. It's a wrap.
What Drake say? He's doing Bad Bunny numbers.
Yeah.
Out of all your designs or drops, what's your most favorite?
The first
so
ones.
far. Oh,
the first ones.
The very first ones, because that just changed everything.
Yeah.
You know, it opened so much doors, and like it made me do this full time. You know, it's a full time gig. I love it. So it's just like, damn. Everybody always wants it back, and I'm like, no, I don't want to saturate it.
Okay, to backtrack, you said that you quit your 9 to 5. Where were you working at?
You're gonna be crazy when I say it was PG&E.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Everybody's like, damn, you did that? I said, nah, I care about my freedom.
Yeah.
I didn't
they pay well.
Yeah.
Hey, PG, I heard.
I was at the call center though. I hated it.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I was on the phone 6 a.m. Old lady cussing me out. I'm like, lady, you didn't brush your teeth. You didn't eat breakfast. You didn't shower. Like, you're yelling at me this early? Like, come on, man. Like, you got to do something.
Turn my power back on.
Turn my power back on.
Like, you never paid for 3 months. What do you need?
Hey, the bills though, what you see is outrageous. I seen bills that are 15 grand.
Damn.
Wow.
I don't know how it gets that high. And they asked me, I'm like, well, you didn't pay.
You didn't pay for all year.
Do you have any go-to colors that every drop you must drop like a certain color that you might like, or that's probably more demanding when you make these drops?
Black for sure, 100% black, bro. And then like a cream color. Everybody is like, you need to drop a cream color, and I'm like, all right. When I did it, they ate that shit alive.
Yeah.
And this was for like the shorts.
Yeah, shorts.
Do you do shirts, t-shirts, like oversized tees? Are you?
Yeah, oversized tees right now. You guys are in fitness. I'm testing that too right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm testing fitness wear too, so it's gonna be crazy when I.
Those shorts are good for fitness too, though. You know.
No, exactly.
But see, people nowadays they like to wear this like the shorts that you have.
Yeah.
Like they like to wear that in the gym.
Yeah.
To work out, like oversized tees, like graphic tees.
It's
like
more of a style now.
It's like style to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? So people like to wear that shit.
They want to lift good and look good.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
So it's just like, I have tees too, you know. So creating that, I have like, sometimes I want to either go minimalistic or sometimes I can go like super loud, you know. But not everybody they have a preference. So, you know, sometimes I have to either like tone it down a notch and be like, okay, it's not for everybody. Because sometimes what I like is not going to be for everybody else. Yeah. And I can't be like, I like this, let me drop this.
Do you ever catch yourself doing that? Like where you're like biased, you're like, oh, this is hella clean to me. And then you're like, I'm going to drop it. But then you start thinking like,
every time.
Hold on.
Don't you think that's harder though? Because if you don't like something all the way, it's hard to drop and think that people are gonna buy it. Like, like I want this, but maybe this might sell better. Like, you catch yourself battling with that? Especially if you're gonna put all your funds into that drop.
Oh hell yeah!
You're like, fuck, I don't like this, but damn, I gotta drop this minimalistic one. Like, I don't know.
Hell yeah, bro, all the time, and that's why I do these polls. And I'm like, all right, if I do these polls, I know how to cater to the customers. Like, if I see what's likable and what color it is, I'm going to drop this specific color, this specific design. And it helped me, you know. It saved me a lot of money versus before where I was just wasting money down the drain.
So, like, your drops, like, when's your next drop? I know you right now, your site's closed. When is your next drop, and how do you plan every drop? So, like, is it every 3 months, every 2 months? Is it scale or just kind of scattered whenever you feel ready?
So, back then I wanted to be, like, I wasn't going to stop. I was going to go every month. And then, like, it got too draining for me.
Yeah.
And then it
burns yourself out.
It burns myself out, and I don't have fun. I don't get to cherish like my time to sit in a room to design. So like now I was like, I'm gonna just drop when I want. My new drop is coming out. I might drop it this month if I have time. This is a busy month for me. If not, beginning of March. They're actually the last set of crew necks and hoodies. And then when I drop my major one, I'm gonna drop that probably the end of April. That one will be. That one's called One of Them Nights. That's probably like Eagles' title brand from their album. That one's like one of my dad's favorite albums, and I'm gonna blast it. That's all dedicated to him. It's like 10 to 12 pieces. That has a Letterman, a denim jacket, pants, a knit polo, a cardigan.
Now, did you look at these people's fits like a little bit and kind of took an idea from how they were dressing then to like what you're dropping, or is it just more of like?
For the most part, I was looking at old photos of my pops.
What he was wearing then?
Yeah. And then after that, I looked at his favorite artists, and I was like, how can I implement these designs on the merchandise?
That's dope. So the Letterman jacket. So you said your pops, he was probably wearing that Letterman jacket then.
Yeah.
Or something, a Letterman jacket, and you're like, let me make my own version.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
That's tight.
So you said you got pants, or not pants? You got pants? You're dropping pants too?
Yeah, I'm dropping.
What kind of pants are they?
They're track pants. They're baggy track pants. So I did a collaboration of like when I saw MJ wearing some track pants, super baggy, and I put it to my own twist. So every time I seen like these 90s Bulls, it would always remind me of my dad, and I would look at their fashion and how they were dressing, and even like their warm-up stuff. I would like, I want to use this, and let me alter it my way.
So how would you style the track pants or the pants? What would you say someone should wear with that outfit?
I feel like you could dress it up or down. It just depends on how you want to do it. They're nylon, so I mean nylon can go with anything. You could upscale. You could wear either like a big Letterman. You could wear a leather jacket with it.
What kind of shoes we wearing with those?
Yeah.
Shoes?
Yours, the ones you about to make?
I would say you could wear Dunks. Oh, speaking of shoes, yeah, I got a shoe coming. It can come out this year. It just depends if we sign the contract.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I can't say the name. But, yeah.
And you talking about the contract with like another shoe brand? Or is it like, so you collabing with them? Is that what it is? Or
yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
That's tight.
And is it a pretty known brand or?
Oh yeah.
He said, "Oh yeah."
How did you get plugged up with that?
My brand strategist.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're creating this brand deck right now to tailor to show them, and then they want to showcase like a box, or like not a box, but they want me to showcase like my storyline of how I want to create this shoe, what silhouettes I want to do. I'll tell you a little bit of it. I want to have numbered friends and family, 52 pairs. And then when I sell to the public, I'll number it again, but with a different color tag to the public.
When you say number, like you're selling only a certain amount of them?
Yeah.
Oh, so each person that grabs, everybody's going to pick.
Color tag. Think about, you got the family drop or you got the public drop.
So the family and friends pair is a purple tag, and it's numbered. That one, I did purple because that was my grandma's favorite color. She passed away through cancer. And then I dedicated that. I was like, I need something symbolic for her. The other tag I did was green. And I look at green, it's not always about money, but I look at it as a plant, it's growth. Mm-hmm. You can grow in many ways. So I numbered it as 100. I was trying to do 150, but I might do 100. I don't know yet. If they give me the leeway, but if they say more, then I'm like, all right, fuck it.
I hear you. That's dope, man. So I hear you keep talking about family. Like everything, all your brands around family, your family. It's like, so you're very family oriented, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Like that's your number one right there.
Yeah, I'll always put that first. I'll give myself the short end of the stick. You know, I feel like from me coming from a broken family, you know, when starting up and having my family, I wanted to change that dynamic, you know, especially having a little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that changed my whole perspective right when I had that little one.
And it's interesting because like you're using your situation like with your family, like good or bad terms, like you're using that to inspire you. Like you're flipping, you're taking the situation and flipping it, and like, you know,
something good, making something good out of it.
You know what? I just started my business based off of this, and that's really dope.
Exactly.
And it could kind of bring everybody together and be like, hey, because you let them know when you're making this, like for example, like your father-in-law one, you're doing that one, you're gonna let him know, hey, this is.
Yeah, I have these conversations with him, and you know, like I could talk to him about anything. I could tell you right now, I'm working on Spring 24 right now, and that's through his Chicano culture. He's in a car club, oldies.
Okay,
I'm gonna dedicate that whole collection to him. I'm gonna have all low riders in there. I'm gonna make it that whole tradition. I'll probably have my sunglasses of Lokes. I'm gonna make it my own way.
Nice.
So I'm gonna do all that. So every time I drop now going forward as an artist, I feel like now, you know, like back then I was just like, oh, let me make these creative ass names, let me make these creative ass colors, patterns, whatever. But I feel like now every collection I'm gonna drop yes, it'll be about my dad, but it'll either be my father-in-law. It could be about my daughter. It could be about my grandma, my mom. Everything is just gonna be how it got tied back into that.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's cool.
So you got shorts. You got this is currently out. You got sweatsuits, hoodies, t-shirts.
Well, nothing's currently out anymore.
I was gonna ask.
It was dropped already.
Because I know, so the shorts are how you started, and that's been like, that's how you kind of like came up. So aside from the shorts, what's been your most successful drop?
Shoot, that's probably like 90% of what I dropped, shorts. But yeah, like I mean, the other ones was probably
because like when you moved on to like other,
I haven't released.
So what I'm saying, so that's good though. You're taking that risk now. You're taking that leap now. You see the trend is like, okay, I can't keep doing these shorts. So like. You're probably nervous to do the new drop.
Oh,
you're like, fuck, I'm putting all my money into this, and what if it doesn't do the numbers you wanted? You know what I'm saying? What if people don't purchase it? Now what?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you go back to shorts? Do you try again? Do you go different? Do you go back to the drawing board? Do a different type of drop? Like it's just like that could be a little.
Yeah, it gets tricky. You know, it gets overwhelming, and it for sure gets stressful. You know, but I feel like having the right tools and the right people on board that could help navigate and shift. And put them on to the right people before it releases, I feel like it'll be with ease. Yeah. You know, and I feel like now we're in a day of like who has it on. So I feel like if you see XYZ have it on, I'm going to buy that shit. You know, no matter what. And I have a couple people that I want to target. I may want to run campaigns maybe with musicians. I don't know how it's going to work. But, you know, I have to pay to play for it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just like, is that going to be worth 15 G's? What's the turnaround for that?
Yeah. Makes sense. Damn. Oh. How you feeling?
It's good. I'm picking up. Well, I had a brand, but obviously I didn't.
I was gonna say you should talk about.
I did not look into it like how you were looking into it. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go through China, order a bunch of shit, and try on air. And then I fucking just got some random clothes that fucking sucked. Yeah. And then I went back to the drawing board, but still I didn't think about it. Yeah. So I placed this whole ass bulk order. And now I'm stuck with all this shit.
No samples?
So I got a sample, right? But the thing is, the minimum purchase was like 100 pieces.
Holy shit.
And that's where I fucked up. That's where I fucked up because, I sold some shit, but it would have probably been better if I paid a little more and probably got like 20 pieces of each size. And now I'll probably most likely have sold out. And not only that, but I came out with like extra small for no fucking reason. A double XL. And I was like, I'm fucking up.
Yeah. Well,
and you just got to know your audience and figure out what
size. Well, I mean, if it makes you feel better, I mean, like, I wasted a lot of roll of fabric. I probably dealt with a million factories that I probably invested 50 G's in, excuse me, that I never seen ever again. And I probably let them keep the fabric and probably they resold it either overseas or at a flea market. But it fucking sucks. You know? Like all the money you put in is just like, damn, like, but do I give up?
Yeah, no. And my thing was having that creative side, right? Because I would look at these brands and like, for example, Gymshark, Nike, and I'm like, okay, I like these shorts. Let me see if I can recreate them. But the creative end was difficult for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how am I going to design these? How am I going to design these shorts? Or just doing it, obviously.
That's when you probably hire a fucking
a stylist, right?
A graphic,
or some shit like that.
Graphic
designer. Yeah, graphic designer. I'm not gonna lie, and I'll drop this gem. Go on Fiverr, bro.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people from overseas.
It's cheap.
They cheap.
What's it called? What is it?
Fiverr.
Is that like an online?
It's like an online networking thing where you could get anything. You could get graphic designs. You could have somebody edit your music videos,
or talk like a commercial. Effects. I had some guy fucking do a commercial thing.
Anything, bro.
They cheap and they turn around is crazy.
Yeah. so you see too, what I invested on my money too was the content end, and I was wasting a bunch of money there when my brand wasn't even relevant at all. Right. When I was like, man, I didn't take the small steps.
Right.
I set the bar too high, and I always stayed down here. And I was like, fuck, always burning myself out. Right. So right now I have all this clothes. And obviously, I'm just trying to figure out a way, like, just to network and probably go to like gyms and stuff like that, and just try to sell this shit, and then eventually come back to the drawing board and maybe do smaller launches and see what the people really like.
Now, your main focus is just the brand now, right? That's all you do for work is just your brand.
Yeah.
Because like you were doing PG&E and then you quit and you said I'm going all in on this.
Yeah.
Now that way it gives you clarity to focus on that brand, right?
Yeah, it's all or nothing.
Like Oscar, you're going
boom, boom, boom.
tenacity, training, schoolwork, videos, and cameras. So it gets hard for you to stay focused on one thing. So that's where, it's like me when I started my gym, I had to just focus on the gym. That's it. I was all or nothing, like you said.
Yeah.
And that, what happens, you build something out of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's do you have a warehouse where you do work or anything like that, where you keep your products, or is everything from overseas and they just get shipped to people, to you, or to your home?
Yeah, and then I wish I got a warehouse.
Are you working towards eventually getting like a warehouse to keep all your or maybe a storefront or something small at some point,
like the headquarters?
I feel like
HQ, so you can have your team there, or you feel like you don't need that, or maybe.
I always wanted a warehouse. The reason why I wanted it to be a one-stop shop. I wanted an in-house design team. I wanted an in-house factory.
Nice.
I wanted a basketball court, of course, because I'm
that
like that's like in my DNA. So and then like seeing like how me and Oscar had that conversation, like in LA or anywhere else, they have these cubicles of propped areas to shoot videos or take photos. I want that, because why would I feed someone else's pocket if I could build it in?
Yeah. So everything's in your warehouse. Everything is in-house. Yeah.
So host a pop-up event, a warehouse sale. It's all in one place.
So you want to have all your clothing being made at your warehouse. Everything, your content, your photos, everything's done there.
And you can have people come shop there too.
Exactly.
That'd be dope.
Like even like private, like oh hey, there's a player in town. Okay, let's take you private shopping. This is what I have ahead. You can buy this.
Yep.
That's sick. It's gonna happen. Where do you want to have this location at?
For me,
put it out there so we can go back to this podcast and be like, damn, we talked
Portugal.
Imagine
no, man.
You gonna have Cristiano Ronaldo over there?
LA or Miami.
I would say LA. Just because the demographic, it's a wider horizon.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as like I don't favor LA of going there because of traffic and like what's going on, like the shooting, the killings, and all that stuff. I mean, everywhere you go is dangerous.
Yeah.
But like I would have it in LA for sure.
It's just where everybody's at.
And there's a lot of warehouses that's up for lease too.
Yeah.
But the right thing right now for me, instead of going out of my pocket, is finding an investor who's willing to invest in what I got going.
Well, someone's got to see what you've done and be like, I already got money, and be like, all right, cool, I could help you out and we can make some work.
Exactly, bro. Because I feel like that's what Ruigi did. He had investors, and
you're gonna need a lot of capital for that. Exactly. Once you get the capital, you don't got to worry about it, because you're the brains of the operation. You don't want to be thinking about, damn, I got all the finances. You want to just be like, all right, trust you. You do your work, and I'm gonna back you up. Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
Investor out there, hit the boy up.
Hey, seriously, I'm. GoFundMe.
Yeah. Now, one more thing I say. Why do your clothing overseas than close, in the U.S.? Like maybe one thing, because I feel like a lot of people do a lot of their overseas. I know you said China, and then you said Portugal.
Yeah. I feel like,
I know we talked about L.A. has a lot of politics. Yeah. Maybe kind of throw that out there. Maybe some youngsters trying to create their brand, they could get an understanding of why they should do that.
So here's the thing, like this is how I looked at it starting up from the beginning. Like, I was buying Gildan, I was buying Port & Company. This was pre-FIFTY2HUNDRED, but it didn't give me that like wow factor, it didn't give me that much pride. Like, the finishing was like, okay, yeah, I made that, but it wasn't all the way made. What if I made it from scratch? Sourcing that fabric, sourcing from the beginning, that takes I'd be more prideful at that at the end. I don't care if it doesn't have anything on it, but as long as I made it to the right desired fit that I like, then it's perfect.
All the cut and sew.
All the cut and sew, exactly. But like when I worked out in LA during COVID season, I mean, it was all political, like I'm not a Travis Scott, I'm not freaking Kanye West, like I'm not Lululemon. They're gonna favor them over me because the money. Yeah. They're gonna look upon small businesses, indie brands, and when people first start, the first thing they want to do is, I'm going to LA. Why? There's so many other resources, bro. Like LA, I get it, fame, whatever, Hollywood, but it's just like when I experienced it, it was just a bad experience. I hated it. I wasted so much money, and then I started to do overseas. When I did overseas, it's cheaper, but the fucking shipping is way expensive. But the quality is
quality.
It's money, and now that I'm working in Portugal, you know, with these guys, their success right now is like in the environment. They're eco-friendly, you know, and now I'm establishing leather goods. I dropped the ball there. So now I'm trying to work with bags, you know. So I dropped the ball there, bro. But I'm doing leather goods. I'm trying to find the right leather for this shoe, and I'm trying to find the right leather for a bag and a backpack, you know, trying to cater to the world. And like right now, like it's up to you. If you wanna go to LA, that's fine. I mean, there's no benefit, but you're gonna be spending a lot of money. Whereas,
especially if you're a beginner, like you're starting, you don't got that capital,
Yeah, exactly. Where overseas, it's like, shoot, I get to travel. I get to go to Portugal. I make this a vacation. I'm there working, but I'm doing the experience. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm excited. I'm going to Portugal next month. So,
that's what's up.
And I'm bringing my camera guys, and then we're gonna do the whole experience. You know, behind the scenes of like, hey, this is what's gonna happen.
We going Oscar? Fuck it. We're podcast.
You know, so. Like, I can't wait to meet these factories. I had somebody source me about 600 factories in Portugal, and I fucking did a lot of homework towards the end of December, and I dissected probably 100 of them, and then I dissected more to 15, and I was like, let's reach out to these guys.
So when you go out to Portugal, you're gonna meet with all these factories, at least the 15 or the 10 or whatever you decided.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably meet with them. I'm probably gonna start like a small convo first, and just be like, hey, I want to see what you got. Feel their fabric, bring some swatches back home, and then after that, like, go from there. Let's start building.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
How long are you gonna stay out there for?
I want to do like a week and a half, 2.
That's what you want to do. Minimum 10 days.
Because like I feel like you're on the plane for a full day.
Oh yeah, you are.
Back, so you need at least 10 days. Yeah. 10 days, you'll be all right.
So I'm just like, man, I can't wait to be. Another vacation. That's how I look at it.
Different country too, man.
Workcation. That's
what part of Portugal are you going to?
I have no idea. I got all these factories are everywhere, so I got to figure it out. I have no idea.
The good thing is that the trains are crazy there. You can hop on a train, be on like.
Oh, you been?
Oh yeah, I've been there twice.
That's dope.
I was in Europe for 30 days. But that's another story. We don't talk about that all the time. Like, shut the fuck up.
Ray said he could be your tour guide.
Hey, bro, you need to be
take Ray.
I just need an itinerary. Just give me that.
I got you, bro. No, yeah, but yeah, you can just hop on a train, man. Just boom, boom, boom. Or even a quick flight. 20, 30 minutes, and the flights are cheap as hell. Yeah. Once you're in Europe.
I believe it. Yeah, I was looking at that when I was trying to go to Fashion Week last year. For my boy, that was his first show, and it was dope. And then I was like, damn, I can't go. I'm going to a freaking wedding. Okay. And then when he went to Paris again in January, and I was like, bad time. I can't go. I'm recovering from the holidays.
But that's where Fashion Week's at in Paris?
Paris and New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anybody can go to that?
And LA.
People could just, or is it just for like, is it more like, what is that for? Like people that just like interested into the fashion mainly? Is that what it is? So
it's pretty much like for Fashion Week, they just show like what's up and coming for the season. Mm. You know, like I just watched Luigi drop his on Friday before our game. He announced his LA, in LA he did his collaboration with Lamborghini. And that one was pretty sick, you know. And then he did another one. He just came back from Paris, and he did Bali. Mm. So that dude was just back to back.
So you stay on point with all these fashion shit, like you're watching this.
You know exactly. And like, you know, it's not just Luigi. I watch Saint Laurent. I watch small independent brands. You know, I watched Kid Super and Louis Vuitton collab, which was really amazing. Kodak Black was in there, which was really shocking. I was like, what is he doing? Hey, it worked out. And then, you know, just trying to stay up to date and just keep getting inspired. I feel like you got to keep getting inspired to be as a creator, no matter what it is.
For sure, man. I think you definitely get inspired once you go to Portugal. When you start doing them travelings out there, man, you'd be ooh, your mind will just open. I feel like you probably create something new out there. Watch.
Even seen different styles there, how people dress and stuff.
Yeah. It's a language. I feel like people's styles is a language, you know, and I feel like it's a conversation starter.
For sure.
100%.
For sure. Well, any last things that you want to tell the people out there? Any motivation you give any new creator? Any advice you give the people?
I would say just stick to the script, man. Don't worry about politics. You're always gonna have an opinion no matter what, you know, and you're always gonna lose a lot of money. You're never gonna sell out. So don't always think every drop is a sellout. I mean, you know, and just invest in it. That's the best thing you could do, whether it's a profit or a loss. You know, I feel like that's what I learned through the years, you know, and some people on your team can't go with you, and it could be a good or bad. It's a blessing in disguise, you know, and then you build a new team from there, you know. It's not a bad thing, but sometimes look at how many freaking companies rebrand themselves, you know, there's how many general managers leave the company, you know. So I feel like you gotta have that tough skin. You gotta have that strong ass mindset to be dedicated, because at the end of the day, you're the fucking engineer of the company. You're just recruiting everyone else to just build the pieces with you.
Yep. Well, you guys heard that here first. That's another episode of Los Chingones podcast. How can they find you on? Where you at? All platforms. Let them know.
You can find me on Instagram, 5200, and then you can find me on Twitter, 5200 underscore. If you want to do my personal, it's jhippie underscore. Same thing with Twitter as well.
You got no TikTok?
I got TikTok, but I don't use it.
Yeah, use it.
Are you gonna start using it?
I want to just to do behind the scenes, because my branch strategist, she was just like, we got to do content. We're all over the place right now, you know. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, I'm glad I have her, because shoot, man, my calendar has been smooth. Like with her, I was like, God damn, I was running like a headless chicken. You know, so I mean, yeah, stay tuned, man. I'm gonna drop my shoe soon, so I can't wait to share that to the world.
Okay. Nice. Excited, man. Oscar, let him know.
Oscar Benitez _12.
Frankie?
BTS Frankie. Everything.
And then Ray Gonzalez, 3 C's at the end. TikTok, Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Everything Los Chingones podcast, Instagram, and then also YouTube. Stay tuned for this episode. It's about to be fire. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we definitely gonna have to cop some of your stuff, man. Can't wait till your next drop. Cause,
oh, yeah, for sure.
Imagine Los Chingones, the special one. Los Chingones shorts.
We ain't that cool yet, bro. Wait till we get 100,000 followers. He want to work with us. He gonna work with us now or later. We ain't gonna lie later, bro. All right, man. That's another episode of Los Chingones podcast. See you guys in the next episode.